Good morning and happy holidays. I would like to let you know that I've brought in a lot of elves today. They've been working overtime, putting together the tips and tricks and tools to give away to you for this holiday season and beyond, of course. But I don't want to really steal this show because it's not my show, it's their show. So I am bringing in the big guns. I have Elizabeth McCauley, Asha May, Karen Blaze, Jason Green, Mary Claire Lawson, Tim Hogan, Carrie Martin, and Michael Ortlieb, and Sunita Ashra. Oh my goodness. This is fantastic. And I think what we're going to do is just go in the order that you are on my screen. And so this show is really, it's from us to you. And the reason why we're doing this is because what point is it for me to recommend career tools when these guys and these elves have been out in the field torture testing them? And so, Elizabeth McCauley, would you please kick us off here and share with us the tool that has been most useful this year that you want to give away to anybody in the audience, somebody in career transition, and of course, why this is your tool of the year?
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Lauren, and it's nice to be here. My word or tool for the year is resilience. Resilience is a very powerful concept, and it's about our ability to rebound no matter what's happening. And I come from a background of tech market. I'm in the Web3 community. I love crypto, and so there's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff right now as those markets are going through some very extreme type storms. And what I like about resilience is it's about creating space and setting our intention on what we want. What is that outcome? What is that calm water that we're really looking for? And so fundamentally, when we can do that, we create space to learn and to harvest that wisdom of the quote unquote storm that we're navigating. And so I've met a lot of people. Everybody's got stuff going on, and it's not just career, it's family, it's health, it's, transition, whatever it is. And I think that there's this very important energy that we really can tap into that sees us through and that space to learn. So that's what I'm bringing to the table today.
It's the perfect starter point because there is not one person that can't use a dose of resilience. It doesn't matter whether it's a career or a setback in some other area. And that elasticity that you talk about, bounce back, is only developed through practice.
That's right.
But it just is the way of life. You can't learn resilience out of a book.
And there's even parts about it, as I'm talking with executives and groups of women, there are also old stories that hold us back. We got to let those go because it creates more space for the learning, for the growing, for the development, for us to operate at our highest function, whatever it is we're doing.
Fantastic. Okay, so the first one is the tool of resilience. So I'm not seeing any comments yet, but if you have been practicing the tool of resilience this year, please just put in the chat, hell yeah, or something along those lines. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. What about you, Asha? What was your tool of the year?
Well, I love the idea of resiliency. I think we can all apply that in so many ways. So, Elizabeth, thank you for the reminder on that one. Thanks, Lauren, for having me as part of this and for all your support this year. I think my tool that I'd like to share, and for many, it's probably just a reminder, which is take the time to swim outside your lane. As we look for our next opportunity, I know I've been blessed with such a supportive community. I'm in the tech space as well and working in the area of customer experience. I have an amazing community of supporters across both marketing as well as customer success leaders But if we're only listening to ourselves, if we're only listening to the Kool-Aid we've all drank and helped contribute to build, we're not growing. And so taking the time to listen to those that are in other parts of the organization, that are leaders in other parts of the organization, that are individual contributors in other parts of the organization, in other industries. I think given where we are in the economy, what we've been through in these last few years, there are different ways of looking at how to run your business, how to execute, how to work with one another that you might not have considered, or it's just so good to have that reminder. So I think my tool is just a reminder to remember to swim outside your own lane.
Right. You know, and you've heard me talk about this. If you keep swimming in your own lane all the time, you're going to be drinking a lot of dirty bathwater, right? It's going to be like the same pieces over and over and over. And we actually have a term for that, which is like perception bias, right? My thinking is the way that it goes. And I think that what we all need to do, especially in the job search, and this is why you're all here, right? You're all here because this is your lane that other people can also benefit from, and getting outside of that. I think that there's so much to be said for that. Also in your network, right? Don't only talk to people within your vertical, because if you keep talking to people in your vertical, you're going to hear the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And we want that confirmation bias to actually open up so that you have new perspectives. And that's also where new opportunities are. So I love that. Keep swimming, but swim outside your lane too.
Absolutely.
Right. By the way, you guys out there in LinkedIn land, this is Karen Blade's birthday, and she chose to spend this morning with us. So make sure that on the flip side, you give her some birthday love. Thank you so much, Karen, for being here. And Alicia, thank you too. I love what Elizabeth said about taking time to be in the quiet and understand what the calm waters look like for all of us. Amit, love it. Tool of the year. And another one from Elizabeth. Keep swimming. So there's a theme there. We're all swimming these days, trying to stay afloat. Amen. All right. So Karen Blades, bring us your tool. Bring us your birthday tool.
My birthday tool. Well, actually, it is my birthday tool, which is, I think, all very aligned with what's happening, being here today. And I think for me, it's two tools really. It's about being in LinkedIn and using LinkedIn, but more importantly, being authentically who you are. Sometimes when you're looking for new opportunities, I know for myself, I'm like, how can I align with what or they're looking for or who they are, when it really, I just need to be myself and recognize that I may not be for everyone, right? And that's okay. When someone told me once, and it's always resonating with me, is that there's something for everyone and not everything is for everybody. And so I think that if we can lean into that and really be our authentic selves, we'll find and we will align with that thing that is absolutely for us. And I think, Lauren, you've really shown that to me, really highlighted that to me, but by being your authentic self and just the light that it brings in my day-to-day interactions with you. And that's what I carry with me. So whenever I get nervous about actually speaking my voice or speaking to something, I just remember that to just be authentic. And it's okay that if I'm not for everyone, that's okay. The people that are for me are going to be for me. And so I would say authenticity is really the thing that is really my tool for the year.
I love how it's your birthday and you're giving this gift away to everyone, because it sounds really simple, like, duh, like who else am I going to be, right? But go try it. And it does take a little bit of courage, and that's okay. Attract and repel, right? It's okay. You want to attract the people that you want to attract and let the other ones like go someplace else. There's plenty for everyone. There is no scarcity. Yeah. And thank you also for talking about LinkedIn, because I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you may have been, I don't want to confirm this, a LinkedIn non-believer. So there are many job seekers out there that are like, ooh, why would I go on to LinkedIn? I'm not sure if LinkedIn is really like where the cool kids hang out. Like, isn't that just a place where people park their resumes online? And so just like, give us a little bit, if you don't mind, Karen, of the before and after, your preconceived notions about LinkedIn and what you've learned just by being on LinkedIn, like more actively.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think for me, definitely I was in the camp of, oh, this is where you just park your stuff and somebody comes to find you. And in line with the tool of the authenticity, I think for me, LinkedIn has really been able to allow me to be authentic, to find my authentic voice, and to recognize that that voice actually does resonate with others, right? But also, as you talked about, it allows me to not swim in my own bathwater, if you will. Like I do run across a number of posts and things that people are putting up, and I have to ask myself, what do I really think about that? I have to really be reflective. I can't just jump into my knee jerk, well, that's not right. It really causes me to reflect. And I've actually had some opportunities to shift my perspective on a number of different things. And so seeing, and LinkedIn being one of those, right? And so really being able to experience other people as my network grows and expands, and to see all of what other people are saying and doing on LinkedIn. So I'm absolutely a LinkedIn fan for now. It's not everything.
Non-believer
Again,
to fan. This is like a transition and a transformation that I know a lot of job seekers either are embracing or have yet to embrace, because as LinkedIn develops new tools and it becomes more robust in its learning capabilities, it becomes a much, much larger piece of the picture. I love that you are expanding your network this way. I mean, it's been said that people can only maintain 150 relationships through their network, but that was way before CRMs and LinkedIn and all that came along. So this allows us, yeah, sure, you're not going to be having coffee with the same people every single day, but what it does is it allows you to change your success path, because most of these people you never would have known if not but for LinkedIn, which is how I met many of you. Awesome. Thank you,
absolutely.
Karen. And happy birthday. You're getting some birthday love here in the comments.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jason Green. Oh my, I am so happy to see your face. This is a man, I mean, he's literally changing the world. He has developed amazing teams. People just crave to be a part of Jason's team. So please share with us. I know this has been a year of a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but that smile says it all. Tell us also, what tool has been so useful to you, most useful to you in 2022?
Thank you, Lauren. Morning, everybody. My tool of the year is purpose. I worked. I've been working in software design for close to 30 years, and I've had leadership responsibilities for about 15 of those years. And most of my career, I've worked directly with CEOs and CTOs, very often with Fortune 500 companies. But I never had titles or compensation to match the work that I was doing. And I sort of chased the professional dragon a little bit. I started seeking out titles, positions that were below the level of skill and experience and influence, because I thought, well, this is how I have to climb that ladder. And not surprisingly, this was not didn't get anywhere. But worst of all, it wasn't fulfilling and it wasn't rewarding. It didn't help me grow. And what I learned is that in my career, I had always put a priority and a value on the purpose of my design work, what I was doing and why I was doing it, and how it would impact end users of software. What I learned this year is to prioritize and in particular communicate my purpose, who I am, why I do what I do, and how I bring value, not just to other people, but to a business. Doing this, focusing on that, it completely transformed my career, but even better, it actually literally changed my life.
So you're begging the question. Tell us what your purpose is. Tell us your why, and you said that it has changed your life and it has changed the trajectory of your career. And for all those people out there that may think that this is super woo-woo, because when I start with the why, I'm always like, oh, are they going to think like I'm not legit? Because sounds like such a squishy feely kind of exercise. Talk to us about the challenge to get there and what the reward was on the other side of determining that.
Well, so my challenge was being a designer. I started my career focusing on very tactical day-to-day things, and as I grew and I started thinking strategically, my mindset was focused on strategy in terms of long-term of the work that I was doing. Instead of thinking about a project day to day or week to week, I was thinking about the work itself. How's this going to last for a couple of years? What I didn't understand, and what I began to learn, is that where my real talent lies is it's not necessarily in the work itself. It's everybody that I work with. It can be the products that I do, but what I do best is I leave things better than how I found them. I improve teams. I improve people. I love coaching and mentoring, teaching. Right. I like helping other people grow. I like helping businesses grow. I like helping growth and development. That was the transformative. That was the aha moment for me. Really embracing and grabbing hold of that, and putting that in the forefront of my mind. Everything else with my work followed. It was easy at that point. But getting to that point, getting to that kind of self-discovery, that was the challenge. That was the journey.
Right. So this upfront footwork that you did, it sounds like you might be going slow and that it's a little snarly and gnarly and you're wrestling with it. And just for anybody else out there that's trying to nail it, that's normal. That's a good thing. Like, you should be kind of torture testing it and pulling it apart and asking yourself, is this the big nugget? Is this why I'm doing what I'm doing? Is this the reason? And I love that you have been able to crystallize that and leaving places better than you found them, and how many applications it has within that business scope, right? It could be teams, it could be revenue, it could be culture, it could be so many different things. But ultimately, when they hire you, that's what they're getting. And that's amazing. And I love how that has been the catalyst for so many other opportunities along the way. And also your benchmark in assessing whether this is a team that you actually, or an organization that you actually want to improve upon, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Jason, for being here. Okay, we got an Energizer bunny in the house. We got Mary Claire, and this is like literally enthusiasm personified. So thank you so much for coming here today, and thank you also for just your incredible gifts and energy. And tell us a little bit about where you are right now and why this tool is your selection for the year so far.
Okay, so my tool for this year is courage. Yay! So, but it also is piggybacking off what Karen said, LinkedIn. It's the courage to use LinkedIn.
Right.
What I did there?
Yes.
So I was totally burnt out in my career. I went way off script and left my job in June with no backup plan. I was empty, lost, dead inside. Met Lauren, and she gave me this tool of courage. The courage to, like what Karen said, be myself and no one else, and not just fit into this box that I thought I had to fit into. Like, if I'm not myself, who else am I? And that's okay. And when I'm on LinkedIn, I see, hey, other people are themselves and they're thriving. And maybe I could do that too. The more courage I have, the more success I'll have. Got that from you, Lauren. So now I'm passing that gift on to others.
Thank you for that. There are so many, I mean, in the trade, we call people that don't necessarily put a lot of comments up, but that are benefiting from LinkedIn. We have a snarky term called lazy lurkers, right? Like, those people are lurking and they're getting all the benefits and they're afraid to dive in. And what you always say, Mary Claire, is come on in, the water's just fine. Like, it's really, really good. It's really fun out here. And participate because it is a good party, but also because there's a lot that you have to say, whether you want to lead as a thought leader and or just be a part of your industry. It's very difficult for hiring managers to see that you have a lot of value if you're not showing up. And this is the first place that you get to test that. Even you can do that, and so much has been said about the value of commenting, right? Commenting allows you, if you are working on building up that courage, to go and test it with such a low level of investment. As long as you're coming there with some value and not just going, amazing post, that doesn't do too much. You need at least 4 or 5 words in order for the algorithm to actually kick in, FYI. But put in something that is, counter to what that point of view is, to challenge and to be able to extend that conversation. And I am over the moon excited because this is going to be a huge year for you. And I love, love, love that you are not necessarily in hiding anymore. So get ready, big world, because you are here, you've arrived, and you're going to be here to stay. This is somebody who is changing the world of television as we speak and has a lot of value to share. So excited to have you here, and thank you for your generosity and everything that goes along with it. So Tim Hogan, the comeback kid. So I spoke to Tim, I don't even know, like maybe 2 years ago. And he was one of those guys that was like, I think I'm going to ride this out for a little bit longer. And so share your tool and why you came back and started working, with us in Portfolio Rocket, and what has changed for you in 2022.
Well, thanks for having me, Lauren, and all of you inspiring people. I just love everything you're saying. I'm sort of taking notes on the side. I guess the reason I came back was that the stuff that I was trying just wasn't sort of resulting in what I was hoping it would result in. You lean on your own network and you end up in that sort of echo chamber. And I think this opportunity has allowed me to really, we all come from different walks, most of us do. And there's so much benefit in that. And I think that's what I've learned about LinkedIn too, is you have to go to those weaker links. You have to really investigate how you might bring your skills and talents and experience into things you don't think about. And I guess I'm trying to segue this into my tool, but I'm in the design and marketing world, and we spend a lot of time preparing case studies for, new business and award show entries, especially. And we spend countless hours working on finessing those presentations, right? clients' work. It needs to be shown off in its best light to shape that sort of memorable standout story. So in the 2 months that I've been working with Lauren and since my last position, one of the most valuable exercises I've found is one of the sort of foundational tools of this program is apply that same rigor to myself. So more than just highlighting the work from my own career, I've got a visual aid.
Woo!
PAR. You guys all know this very well on the LinkedIn Live. Problem, action, result. So this is sort of how you demonstrate that level of expertise and understanding of not just the work, but what drove the results of business, and sort of, you know, getting into the details of that impact has been a really useful exercise for me, going back through my career and sort of reinvestigating what those projects are and how they shape and help tell the story, to Jason's point of, you know, that why that I have, that purpose that I have, and how those things, those puzzle pieces start to fit together. It's really, I mean, it's a lot of work. And, you know, finding those results can be kind of hard to, there's a little bit of investigating you have to do, and you have to sort of hold them up to the right light so they make sense. But getting sharp on those, I found this tool to be helpful in my own website content, right? And developing those case studies, LinkedIn profile content, which is ostensibly your homepage, right? And then talking points during interviews. This is like, it's just content for you to have in the back of your mind. And I've been just going through and trying to have 3 ready to go that tell 3 specific parts of my career and why I think it's interesting. So it's something that I think is a great tool. It's a little bit more practical than some of the esoteric stuff that I love that you guys are talking about. And I wish mine was a little bit more in that direction, but this is a very valuable muscle that I continue to plan on developing for the next couple of years. So hope it helps you.
This is such an important tool. And I'm so glad you brought in the PAR, because the PAR is that acronym for problem, action, result. It follows the classic case study model. What was happening, what you did about it, and where the big results and wins and outcomes are. And why this is so important is because this gets a much more impactful level of ownership for what you are doing beyond just the facts, right? It allows storytelling, which we know is 66% more memorable than just giving the facts on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what we also learn, and when you're talking about a lot of work, what that means is also distilling it down to what really matters, because it's easy to tell a long story. It's not that easy to tell a 2.5 minute story. And we also always need to remember who our audience is. Our audience are people that are making decisions, but they're also super busy and they've heard a lot of stuff before. So we want to be able to use that storytelling as a way to be memorable and to differentiate. Thank you for bringing in the PAR, and thank you for really like going deep, man. I mean, I think that one of the things that I also can relate to is a lot of people think that investing, whether it's a coach or, you know, any kind of program with their career, is very self-indulgent. And I know that you've talked a little bit about that and like, why am I doing this? It feels like it's so like about me. But who else's career is it? And so, you know, it's kind of like a little bit of a brain turn, you know, to be able to accept that at a certain point in our careers, if we want all that, we really need to get down to some of the things that really drive those results and who we are. So thank you, Tim, for being here. Carrie Martin in the house. I love it. Carrie Martin. Oh, you really bring it on real. And so I really want to hear what your tool is, because you are such an enthusiastic person along the lines of Mary Claire. You just like exude a lot of goodness. So tell us what you have taken away as your tool for 2022. Oops, you're muted.
All right. I will conquer. That is a tool I will conquer in 2023. But the tool from 2022 really is about having honest conversations with myself about when I'm really in my flow. And very similar to him, digging deep, taking a walk down memory lane. I've been in marketing for some time now. I've had developed tons of different skill sets, amazing, iconic brands. I've had the opportunity to revitalize, launch, etc. But taking the pause, really embracing the pause to say, what are my soul fuels and what are my soul sucks? And a really, really good friend of mine introduced this concept to me. She happens to also be a coach. And I have been really digging in on what those look like and literally writing it down on a piece of paper and then embracing it. Like, you know, if you're really into yoga and you understand what that flow is all about, as I've embraced that over the years, you know what that flow feels like. And so that has been a game changer for me. And yeah, that is the unlock for where I am going forward, for sure.
I love that. Yeah, you want to do something that lights you up, right? You can take a job, but if it doesn't light you up, what's the point?
Yeah, and people that light you up too.
And people who light you up. So thanks for lighting all of us up today, this morning, and on the regular too. Great to see you, Michael Ortlieb. Crazy, amazing Michael Ortlieb. So happy to have you in the house. Bring it to us. Bring your 2022 tool to all of us.
Yeah, I was giving some thought about this. I'm thinking about all the sea of digital tools that is available to us, but my answer to all of this is a highly analog one. It is your voice and starting a conversation with others and following through on that. So I know that seems kind of unusual, but I can find the people that I want to talk to via the sea of digital tools. But I work at my best when I'm talking to them in a forum such as the one we're in now, or if it's one-on-one. And that's where I really get to know people. I'm intentionally listening to them. I'm insatiably curious about what they have to offer and what I can offer them. And that has helped me build a really amazing network over the years. And has led to the gig that I have now, where I get to work with a really amazing group of people who have incredible stories themselves. So I am constantly kind of that investigative reporter who am as kind of like seeking out knowledge and training, whether it's when I'm teaching, I teach Figma on the side. So I'm getting to know a whole group of new voices and just really enjoying that. And that helps kind of build my confidence in speaking, which does not suffer, but it's a fun thing to do. And I keep building on that. And as I do that, it helps me understand and be more confident in my voice and the type of designer or mentor or leader that I'd like to be.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, that insatiable curiousness is really an amazing gift and an amazing tool. You can use that in networking like crazy, right? Because questions catalyze connections. Asking some good questions will change the entire trajectory of your networking opportunities. And you don't need a lot of them. You need one or two, and people will talk, right? You just put that out there and they're going to run with it. And then you get to walk away and go, wow, that was easy, right?
It's true. And it's like, if you have, you might get 100 no's in a year. That happens to all of us. And all you need is that one yes. And typically that's the one you've been waiting for.
Oh, say that again. Say that again for people who are watching and thinking, it's never going to happen for me.
I know it's just weird, wild, the cyclical nature of the economy the last couple of years, 2020 and now, but you will get 100 no's, but you will get the one yes. And that one yes is the one you're going to want.
Yeah, it's crazy the way that works. So keep the faith, hang around for the miracle, because it really does show up. But don't take your foot off the gas. That doesn't mean don't rest. It just means don't quit.
Yep.
Awesome. Sunita, last but never least, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming this morning. And thank you for all of your sage wisdom, because you got it in spades.
Thank you, Lauren. So glad to be here. Hi, everyone. Oh my God, such gems. Your resiliency, authenticity, purpose, courage. Elizabeth, Karen, Asha, Jason, everyone, it's just, I'm getting chills already and, setting myself up for 2023. This is so exciting. Thank you all for sharing. So my all-time favorite tool is believing in yourself. It is important to have that faith in yourself and claim your power. Oftentimes, though, we forget that and struggle to tell our stories. So the real tool that I wanted to share was what Tim talked about is CAR. Which I call storytelling with a twist. So, Lauren, I came up with a new name for that.
Good.
Tim shined wonderful light on it already. But, like in our grown-up world, we're telling stories all the time, right? Irrespective of what industry you're in, you're networking with someone, you're interviewing for a role, making a presentation, talking with your teams, all of that really is storytelling. And specifically in today's world, as a number of us have been impacted by the reduction in force decisions in the company, storytelling becomes all the more critical if you're trying to navigate and find your next best opportunity. And the most valuable tool that I learned, thank you, Lauren, is storytelling from the lens of the listener and answering the question, what is in it for my listener? And that's the twist I was referring to. So ask that question again and again. When you tell your story, just to make sure that the right movie plays in their mental landscape. And as you make it about them and not you, guess what happens? You maximize the output of that session or of that discussion, right? And I'll be honest, I've been guilty of it. Lauren can tell you that. I've been guilty of jumping straight into the guts of the story. I did this and this happened and, but Lauren helped me slow down and break it out into the three important parts, which is, the first part, paint the picture, or as she says, bring them into your movie. And then you get to the action, what actions were taken, but more importantly, then get to the impact of what you did. So what were the results we saw? And a very important sort of addendum to that tool is to have a couple of those stories ready in your pocket all the time. So, whenever the opportunity presents itself, you can whip them out and be always ready for a productive and impactful conversation, especially for anyone in career transition. And I'm already seeing the impact of, having this information ready to go when I need it. I'm able to articulate my accomplishments better, but more importantly, I'm able to make the listener comprehend how my experience can be beneficial to them, which is what can make the difference in getting to that next step in the conversation. So Lauren, thank you again for helping me see that. All I'm going to say to everyone here is believe in yourself, have faith, you worked hard. Now you go tell your story and claim your power.
I have the goosebumps all over the place, everywhere. I think my earlobes have goose pimples because every single one of these has been so authentic in terms of your experience around it. And the comments have been absolutely supportive in terms of how much hope and help you have provided to everyone else. Because this, I say this a lot, your search is not a solo sport. It should not be done like hanging out in your basement and just grinding by yourself. There's so many people that are probably experiencing all of the things and more that are thinking, oh my God, I feel so alone. And so using these tools and being able to give them away is such a gift that you guys have all so generously provided. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank everyone who has been listening. I know that there is one person in particular, and I'm going to call her out because she put herself in the comments. Becky Bach, thank you. She said, bravo, Michael, you're giving me the dose of positivity I need. So, you know, just, it only takes one, right? And, you know, we've all gone through disappointments, ups and downs in our searches. And so you guys have really helped pave the way for what's to come in 2023. So take these tools with you. They're portable. You can use them whenever you want. They travel easily. Bring them on the plane with you. Bring them over the holidays, right? So that you can start to sharpen them and bring them to life in the next year. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll all hang around afterwards. We're going to end this broadcast, but stay in the studio for just 2 minutes so that I can give you some extra love. Okay. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for coming to LinkedIn Live, and we'll see you next year. Bye.